Welcome back again, everyone. It's challenge time. This challenge is for the Hardwiring Happiness Masterclass, and our expert guide today is Dr. Rick Hansen. Our inspiration for this masterclass is Dr. Hansen's book, Hardwiring Happiness. All right, so Dr. Hansen, we do something at this conference which is kind of like the framework you suggested, not just have a bunch of knowledge, but to try and instill it, right? To try and absorb it. And to do that, at the end of each masterclass, I request our expert guides to issue us a teeny tiny challenge that all of us must try on the same day that we watch this masterclass. So it becomes part of our fabric, right? So do you have a challenge? I know you have a challenge for us. What is your challenge for us?
I call it the 5-minute challenge. 5 minutes,
Okay.
and which involves three things. The first is as you go through your ordinary day, half a dozen times, roughly, slow down and take in the good. What we've talked about. Usually with experiences you're already having, slow down and let them land inside you. That right there will take you 1 or 2 minutes a day. Really, because you are only doing it for, a breath or 2 or 3 at a time. That's part one. Part two of the 5-minute challenge is know what your vitamin C is. Know what one thing these days you're trying to grow inside yourself, whatever it might be. You might think to yourself, I want to not sweat the small stuff so much. Or, I want to work on filling that hole in my heart, from my own childhood. Or you might say, I want to develop more motivation for exercise or being patient, let's suppose. I want to do that. What's that one thing you're focusing on? It's okay to have 2 or 3, but what's one for sure? So when you have the one thing you're trying to grow or heal inside yourself, that organizes your day. It's great, actually. Instead of feeling helpless and just stuck, it gives you a North Star. It says, okay, a little bit every day, I'm going to look for the medicine for me that's going to really, really help me these days. And when I feel it, when I have it, I'm going to enjoy it and install it into my brain. That's another minute or 2 a day at most, probably a minute a day. Then, third aspect of the 5-minute challenge is for a minute or more every day, 1 to 2 to 3 minutes every day, drop into deep green. What do I mean by deep green? The deep green zone, a deep sense of needs met enough in this moment, a deep sense of safety and peacefulness and calm, a deep sense of calm, a deep sense of contentment and gratitude, enough satisfaction. It's okay to want more. It's okay to recognize real issues, and still in the core of your being, come home, sink in to deep green in terms of satisfaction, contentment, and so forth. And then in terms of connection, deep green, feeling cared about and caring. Even if there are issues with being cared about, we can always be caring. And love is love, whether it's flowing out or flowing in. Just help yourself. The heart will slow, the breathing will slow, your body will calm, stress hormones will clear out. This is our resting state. Mother Nature has designed us, like other animals, to spend ideally most of our time in deep green, but because we spend so much of our lives these days rushing about, multitasking, especially parents, dealing with many, many things, especially mothers on average, because we're in the pink zone a lot of the time, maybe not full red, but the pink, we're running around, we're kind of mildly stressed. It's so important to come home to deep green for a minute or 2 or more a day. So that's the challenge, the 5-minute challenge. As you go through your day, take in the good a handful of times. Second, know one thing, one muscle you're trying to grow these days, and look for opportunities to feel it and then internalize it. And third, rest in deep green for a minute or more a day. That's 5 minutes. And if you spend those 5 minutes today, it will change your day. If you spend these 5 minutes 3 days in a row, you will start to acquire the habit of resilient well-being, because that's what you're growing. in the 5-minute challenge. And if you make this more of a regular part of your life, within a week or 2 or 3, people will be saying to you, what's your secret? Are you taking some new vitamin?
So I have a question for you out there. So if people want to do this long term, do you have some kind of a suggestions of how to make this a habit? I mean, it's like linking it to maybe something so they remember to do this. Any suggestions on making this a long-term thing?
Yeah, it's a great question. When people start to do this, it's so rewarding that they naturally keep doing it. It's like, you know what I mean? If we eat some food and it tastes really good, we're going to tend to want to eat it more. So that's part one. Part two, it's to absolutely make a commitment to yourself. If you want to do it more often, get on your own side. Treat yourself like you matter. Be for yourself. You know, that's fundamental, absolutely fundamental. And again, especially for people, guess who've been trained their whole lives to be for other people first. You have to say, okay, I can be for other people, fine, while also I can take 5 minutes a day for me. It's like making that choice. There's no replacement for that choice. Then if you want, you can put little reminders around your house, little yellow stickies, take in the good, right? Flowers in the garden of your mind, do that. The vitamin C, you realize, okay, vitamin C, I got to look for that thing I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to focus on one thing every day that I'm slowly healing or developing inside myself. So that tends to help. Or you just realize, it's bedtime and I didn't do the 5-minute challenge. So I'm going to take 5 minutes. It's just 5 minutes. You say, I'm going to turn off the TV. No, tell people stop talking to me. I'm going in my 5 minutes. Maybe I'm going to go to the bathroom for the 5 minutes here, just to kind of leave me alone. Take that 5 minutes just before you go to sleep to do all 3 things. And then that will really change your sleep that whole night. Awesome. So that's it. You got to do it. There's no replacement for doing these things. I'm a kind of old school guy. I've become a longtime therapist. I've become more compassionate, but I've also become more direct. If you don't do it, it's not going to work for you.
Right. So, and that's the intent of this challenge in the first place, right? Because you have to, there's no point in listening to all these masterclasses if you're not going to take action. So everyone, we have our challenge before the end of the day today. Spend 5 minutes